Bedtime with Mrs. Honeybee. Today, in the Honeybee neighborhood, we will continue our grand adventure, finishing up your first day at the Honeybee Princess Academy.
Do you remember the 3 principles of princessing for your first lesson?
I do. Stewardship, harmony, and... oh goodness, I don't remember the third one.
Well, at least you were honest about it.
Of course I was honest about it. Honesty is so important.
Maybe important enough to be a principle of princessing.
No, that wasn't it. It must have been something else. Maybe singing?
Melody Bee, honesty was it.
Really? Bluff. I have more to learn from the Honeybee Princess than I thought. Luckily, I have you right here with us. What an honor.
All you have to do is close your eyes, get cozy, and listen to the sound of my voice. Mrs. Honeybee will be your guide. Let's begin. It's time for lunch. The students spill out of the classroom with piles of books in their hands. We join you in the hall with big hugs and congratulations. You did so well on your first day.
Did you see my sign? I was cheering you on the whole time.
I don't think anyone could have missed your sign, Melody Bee.
We want to hear everything. What did you learn, my little honeybee?
The way you were answering all those questions, I thought the teacher might invite you up to teach the class.
You lead us down the long corridor in your cloud shoes, and we listen to every detail of your first class. Mrs. Honeybee is so proud of you. Harold jumps up into your arms for slobbery puppy kisses, and Mr. Honeybee walks up ahead to open the door for us. Before we can walk out into the lush green courtyard, the principal darts out of his office and calls out to us. He's on the phone with someone, but he's also calling us into his office with a serious look on his face. We sit down in front of his big wooden desk. Sunlight pours in through the window and shines on a globe sitting in a bronze stand. You're able to spin it and see the whole world while the principal continues to talk in hushed, urgent tones. When he sits down at his desk, your finger lands on a seemingly random spot on the globe. He looks down at the globe, then up at you, shocked, and says, "That's exactly where we need you to go." Before you can look to where you are pointing, he explains that there's a situation. Without giving any further detail of the situation at hand, he comments on your stellar performance in class. The teacher has already been by his office with a glowing report. The academy doesn't usually do this. There are usually years of coursework, exams, assessments, and trial periods for the princesses. But when opportunity knocks, he giggles to himself, "You better open the door." The principal knocks on the desk and says that you are the Honeybee Princess Academy's opportunity. There's a vacancy of active princesses currently. There's many vacancies right now, actually, and that has put them in this situation. What he proposes to us, sitting on the edge of our seats in his office, is that your studies, exams, assessments, and trials are expedited. You are far beyond the curricula. For anyone who knows anything about royalty, you are already clearly a princess. The principal would like to officially instate you now as a Honeybee neighborhood princess so you can get right to work. He says he just got off the phone with the powers that be, and they've approved this very special case due to a very urgent need. He asks, and you happily accept, offering anything you can do to help. When we inquire about the situation, he says there's no time. Everything you need to know will be sent via the Princess Academy's courier service soon. All that's left to do is take the oath and receive the pin. For the princess oath, place both hands over your heart, one on top of the other. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Feel the sensation of your heart beating once, twice, 3 times. Then slowly breathe all the way out through your mouth and keep your awareness on your steady heartbeat. Allow your mind to stay clear and say the following words out loud, as if speaking them with your heart. I promise to be the best me that I can be. I am a princess. Each of us in the room feels a warm breeze swirl through the otherwise still room. A spell has been cast by your powerful words, and when you look around the room, everything seems different. Wiping tears of joy from his eyes, the principal unveils the princess pin and hands it to you to wear over your heart, so you always remember your words. Mr. Honeybee, Melody Bee, and I sniffle too, struggling to hold back our own joy for your achievement. Melody Bee tries to crumple the sign because it doesn't feel important enough. She would like an opportunity to redo it. But with the grace that only a princess can have, you tell her that it's perfect. The pin you are holding is of a bee wearing a crown. It is cast in gold with emeralds dotted throughout. You affix it to your gown and feel a deep connection with it. The principal walks us out the corridor and lets us know that we will be hearing from the courier soon. He assures us that the official induction ceremony will happen as soon as possible. This awful imbalance must be rectified before that can happen. But while you work on that, he will work on setting up your lavish ceremony fitting for a princess of your caliber. Mr. Honeybee tries to ask how the courier will contact us, but the principal gets another urgent call before he can. Something is seriously wrong, and you are just the princess we need to make it right. We make our way back home in stunned silence at what just happened, but no one is more stunned than you. Harold jumps back into your arms for more puppy kisses, thinking that puppy kisses make everything better. Mr. Honeybee makes sure you are all right and that the pressure of your initiation isn't too much.
Are you okay, my little honeybee? Whatever the situation is, you know you're able to do it. But you won't have to do it alone. We are here too.
Mr. Honeybee is right. We can do anything as long as we're together. Until we hear from the courier, let's focus on how exciting that was. Can you believe it? From an invited guest to an instated princess in the blink of an eye.
It's so beautiful. How are the shoes holding up?
You look down to your feet, which feel like they are walking on clouds, because they are. The shoes looked like glass slippers last time you looked at them, but now, to your eyes, it looks like you're wearing a sparkling ocean for shoes. You asked me if the shoes have changed at all, but when I look at them, I see the shiny cloud glass slippers we made. They look the same as they did. You assure us that the shoes are excellent and that everything is amazing. Yet, you feel a new sense of quiet, both inside and out. A pervasive peace and joy has washed over you. It's like you don't need to say anything to express it though. And you can feel the simple beauty of the world with your fingertips. You point out a series of rainbows on the way home, each more brilliant and impressive than the next. But none of us can see them like you can. The sky is more vibrant than you remember. Harold's fur in your arms is softer. The bird song sounds like an orchestra playing just for you. Is this how life always looked? Or is this your new, highly developed princess sensibilities? Through your princess eyes, you now see balance and harmony in vivid colors. When something is out of balance, the color in that area fades to a dim gray. On the walk home, you notice this layer of grayness over a patch of grass in the dog park. Without a word, you set Harold down on the ground, and together you run over to where the grayness hovers. To you, it's clear that there's an imbalance here. You are eager to restore its vibrant color. We follow you, not knowing what you're doing or why. When you get to the patch of grass, you hear the barking dogs of the dog park. They are excited and playful, but are hyper-focused on a small hole in the ground. When you come near the dogs, they instantly calm down and sit with their tails wagging. You gently approach the small hole, and Harold sniffs for clues at your feet. You place your hand lovingly on the grass, and out of the hole pops the head of a terrified little fox. The dogs picked up on his scent and cornered him into this foxhole. Sensing your calm authority over everyone involved in this situation, the fox hops out of the hole and scurries away to safety in the forest behind the park. The dogs don't even see him. They just want pets from you, their new favorite person. Harold piles in too, and you sink into a happy cuddle puddle until Mr. Honeybee brings us back to the important task at hand.
We should get back home. The courier might be waiting for us.
Oh, that's right. Come on, follow me. I know a shortcut.
When we get home, you are immediately preoccupied with something you see on the horizon. It's something you saw when you first arrived, but didn't quite understand. When you looked at it then, it looked like a dense collection of clouds floating above a single spot on the horizon. Now when you look at it, you see that same gray dimness in an otherwise technicolor landscape. A princess could potentially help an imbalance even by looking at it. Your deeply felt peace and harmony expresses itself as a golden shimmer that floats on the breeze directly from your sparkling eye. You blink a couple times before watching a little golden whirl spring forth from your gaze and rush to the gloom on the horizon. Melody Bee sees it before the rest of us because as a bee, her eyes are attuned to the color yellow.
Mrs. and Mr. Honeybee, are you seeing this?
Are you seeing those sparkles? You're surrounded by glitter.
Are you seeing the sparkles? Or making them with your vision? I've never seen anything like this.
Suddenly, as if an alarm has sounded, your attention shifts. A small flock of birds are calling out urgently. After you hear them, you see a flock of hummingbirds materialize, flying as fast as they can, moving as if they are one shape. Without knowing how you know this is the courier the principal mentioned. Not one, but 30 tiny hummingbirds encircle all of us on the porch before arranging themselves out in front of us. We are consumed with a subtle shimmer of these fluttering hummingbirds, but you notice that they seem to have brought a dragonfly with them. A tiny orange dragonfly now sits on your shoulder where the hummingbirds circled, and it doesn't seem to be frightened by your movements. You rush out in front to watch as the flock forms itself into a series of shapes and symbols. They are communicating with us, but you are the only one able to decipher their code. As they arrange themselves into a few shapes, you intuitively understand the gist of the situation. There is a horrible imbalance in a far corner of the Honeybee neighborhood. The sun can't even shine anymore. It's so gloomy. As a newly initiated princess, you know it's up to you to restore balance and harmony through thoughtful honesty. This is your first quest as an official Honeybee neighborhood princess. Always remember, Mrs. Honeybee believes in you. You are special and you are loved. I can't wait to see you again.